attending this outstanding meeting. Anshuman, you just informed me that thousands of people are watching it on YouTube, and I see nearly 200 people on this Zoom call itself. That shows how effective RLI has become over the last so many years. It has done human service absolutely to the Rotarians, and I've seen it from close quarters and played my humble bit role. It comes back as a flash of memory when it was my first council on legislation in 2001, and suddenly I find a gentleman named David Linnett coming frantically asking to the other Indians, where is this person Shekhar? Because I was putting up a proposal at the COL that year, and he came and he helped not only give me all the points that had to be given, and I was amazed that this man sat down, typed out the entire thing that I had to speak, helped me, and then I realized it is only such dedicated people who can start a thing and take it so far. Wonderful that what David has started has come up here now, and a worthy successor as chairman is my dear friend Mike McDowell. Apart from the fact that it is RLI, it was because I wanted to listen to Mike. I told Anshuman I will be here right from the beginning, and I'm so happy to listen to Mike. What an outstanding Rotarian he is. The fact that it's I get goosebumps whenever I think of the Polio Plus. Very few other organizations in the world can think of a program like this. They can have the courage of a program like this, where you spend billions of dollars and billions of man hours. You vaccinate 3 billion children. It's amazing, actually. And here is a man, I hope he will see the end of it under his chairmanship. All the very best to you, Mike, not only for polio and also here for providing information. Because, as the subject says, informed Rotarians are involved Rotarians. Even before I move forward, happy birthday, Vinod Bhaiya. It's absolutely a privilege to see you here. What an active Rotarian he is, outstanding. Very few people have seen him from such close quarters as I have. He's a man on a mission always, somebody who brought the matching grant concept to our district and to India. If India does so very well in matching grants, etc., a lot of credit to that for that goes to Vinod Pradhan. Selflessly he keeps working. It's good to see you, Vinod. We haven't met much, but it's absolutely a privilege to know that you've been working so hard for RLI. And all the other people, there are so many of my friends I can see, and I'm aware they are so passionate about RLI. Anshuman is one of them, and there are so many of them. I'm not naming. I mean, I probably know so many. I don't know what percentage of the entire group of people here. I think I know them. So many from this part of the world itself. Coming back to the topic, informed Rotarians are involved Rotarians. Well, this one statement itself is a speech enough. It says everything that I would want to say. And I've realized it. I've always said that I've had baptism by fire as far as Rotary is concerned. When I joined Rotary, in just 1 month's time, I was asked to come out with, I was given the responsibility of a fundraiser. I had no clue about how to come out with a souvenir. A souvenir in India is called a book that you come out with, which also contains a lot of advertisements, it contains a lot of information, and the fundraiser is through people who give content or give advertisements in it. Somehow, because of everybody else's efforts, it became a huge success. It became a success, people patted your back, and that's the only thing that takes you forward in Rotary, a pat on the back. And well, that pat on the back took me forward, and the next thing, even before I realized, I became the editor of my club. And then I realized the power of information. I love that job, being the editor of my club. So anybody who asks me, what is the job that you would like to do once again in Rotary, it will be the job of the editor. You know why? Because I find that the editor is the nerve center of all information. Anything that's happening in the club, it goes in the bulletin, and the bulletin, before it goes, you come to know of everything that's happening in the club, in the district, in the Rotary world. So friends, that day itself I realized information was extremely important. And from then on, I always try to keep myself as abreast as possible as far as information is concerned. And I've realized information truly is the best way to engage people. In Rotary, if people are informed about Rotary, there is so much in Rotary for everyone. You want to know about fellowship? Well, you need to be informed about it. At times, we restrict our minds of fellowship only to the meetings and gatherings that we have. Probably 90% of the Rotarians do not even know that there are so many fellowships of which you could become members. And fellowships of anything that you can think under the sun. There is a fellowship for bird watchers. There is a fellowship for photographers. There is a fellowship for cricketers. In fact, my friend who introduced me to Rotary is such an important part of that fellowship of cricketers, Chitranjan Chaudhary. So, there is so much. I mean, if you are informed, you can take so much advantage of this. I often tell this phone that we use it mostly either for sending messages or for making telephone calls, which is only 1% of the total value of this phone. It has 99% more features which at times we are not even aware of. Rotary at times is quite similar. There is so much for us to learn, so much for us to know, and yet we are probably only looking at the tip of the iceberg. So it's important that you have created a curriculum, you have created information centers where people can come, take lessons, learn, evaluate themselves through the different levels that you have created. I think your model is just outstanding, and let me tell you, the fact that you are not an official program of Rotary even is a big advantage for you to grow as much as you are. So friends, keep doing the wonderful work that you do. In today's time, especially the times of pandemic, I think you have one of the biggest roles to play. How else do you think you would have been able to organize a meeting where there are a few thousand people who are listening, anything about that you are wanting to say? The pandemic has brought us great value as far as connecting and passing information is concerned. I would say exploit it to the best possible way. Have as many RLI sessions as you can on the virtual platform, because you will never ever get this opportunity of getting so many people on the virtual world as you are getting right now. Maybe 1 year later, we will again wean away a little from the virtual world and will be more into the in-person world. That time we will not find so much time for the virtual world. Today there is time. This is the time to sharpen the information that you are providing to every Rotarian. So my request is, please enhance their knowledge, please enhance their engagement. If there is something which is extremely important and needed right now in Rotary, it is engagement of Rotarians. There are a large number of clubs who do some amazing work on the virtual world, but there is a number of Rotary clubs, there is a percentage of Rotary clubs which are not even meeting today. Those who are not meeting on the virtual world or the in-person world, I think they are heading for trouble. Even before they realize they will lose so many things. And one way to keep them engaged is for Kevin, Mike, I would say, if the message could go to all the governors around the world that if they could find out, and Holger is trying to do that, I am trying to do that, we want to find out which are the clubs which are not either on Zoom, either virtually or in person. It's important that we identify those clubs through the district governors, and the district governors organize meetings, etc. for them. And one of the outstanding meetings they can organize is the RMI courses. Even informed people need to be informed. Like Mike said, and I say, there is no end to information. We can keep learning every day. Today I was at a meeting and somebody asked me, why not have a youth coordinator? Just like we have Rotary coordinators, why should we not have youth coordinators? When we have youth programs and we are giving so much focus to road tractors, why should we not have youth coordinators? And I think it's a great idea. A learning for me. I said, write to me, write to the director, and maybe we'll put it up to the board. So for each of us, it's a learning opportunity, and RLI is doing an excellent job in providing that. When people come into Rotary, only a certain percentage of them take up leadership positions. The rest of them have not taken the leadership positions, and you address them, and that is such a wonderful thing. You in fact kindle the spark within them. You instill in them the desire to know a little more. Sharpen their appetite for knowing more about their organization, and the more knowledge you have, the more involvement you have, and if you are involved, that's what Rotary requires, engagement of the parents. So I compliment each and every one of you for the great work that you do as far as RLI is concerned. I also appreciate and thank each and every faculty member. I know they move from city to city trying to provide this information. They do it at their own cost, spending their time, energy, resources. Excellent. I know so many of them who do this on a very regular basis and very passionately. And I think Rotary is all about passion. It is only passion. When you start thinking from your heart and not from your head, that's when you reach outstanding goals. Was it not very stupid of Gandhi to think that he will just by non-violence make India independent? Was it not childish of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, one of the outstanding leaders of India, whose birthday it is centenary, 150 years of that outstanding person, who thought that he will create an army and overthrow the British to be able to win back India's independence. And I tell you, it is such dreams only that take us to positions that others have not even dreamt of. One of my inspirations always comes from what George Bernard Shaw said. He said, you see things and ask why. I dream of things and ask why not. So all you need to do great things in Rotary, especially in voluntary organizations, is passion. The polio example is the best story. Imagine 35 years back, if the people who decided on eradicating polio had they applied a little more mind, they probably would not have had the courage of doing this up, taking this up. A program that's in the 34th year, if you had to raise $2.2 billion, imagine, would we be today wanting to take up a project when we know 34 years later we might have to raise $2.2 billion? We would never take up a program. And yet we did because of passion. Passion followed by sincerity, with information, with knowledge, is what we can achieve anything in this world, and polio is the best example. With this very organization, you need to keep kindling the spark within each Rotarian. I hope and wish that you spread to each and every district in the world, you spread to every part of this world, because you are doing an outstanding service to the organization. Keep doing that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shekhar.